Welcome back to Living 757. When people think summer, they usually think laid back, easy breezy, lots of fun, right?
Right.
But that's not the case when it comes to kids' safety. Children's injuries increase dramatically during the summer months, so much so that medical professionals call it trauma season. So here today with us is Zack Hutchison. He is an attorney from Huffman Huffman. He's going to help tell us how to keep kids safe and hopefully avoid trips to the ER, right?
Sure, of course. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course, good to be with you all.
It's so nice to have you in person finally.
Yes, it's good to be here. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I feel like we all look better in person than we do over the computer.
Of course, yeah.
So can you tell us why the summer months are so much more dangerous when it comes to kids' safety?
Sure, yeah. So, the summer months, the days are getting longer, so it just means everybody's spending more time outside. With kids specifically, they're going to be out riding their bikes in the neighborhood, playing with friends, things like that. More family trips to the beach, anything with water activity, going to the pool, things like that.
Yeah. So Zach, what are some of the safety things that we can actually use to keep the kids safe, whether they're on a scooter or on a bike?
Sure, yeah. In terms of being on a bicycle specifically, first thing goes to the helmet. You want to make sure that the helmet fits correctly. You don't ever want to get a helmet that the child is going to grow into. Ooh. There's really no such thing as that. In terms of riding the bike, too, the thing you want to stress for kids is that they follow all the rules of the road. And that they ride that bike with the flow of traffic. So there are two kind of the big things to.
Okay, so a quick follow-up. Yeah. Now, when we grew up back in the day, we didn't have to wear helmets and knee pads and all those things, and we turned out right. But is there a law that says that kids?
There is, yes,
Ooh.
And it would be
gosh.
I think my understanding is it varies city to city. But yeah, it is best practice whether your city or county does require that. I would have my kids kind of across the board go ahead and wear that helmet, even though we turned out fine.
Father's Day just passed, so I'm going to give a notch over that. Oh God, I'm a bad father. Okay.
Now, I have two questions. The first one is a follow-up to the previous question. Okay. As a parent of a toddler, if you have them in a bike seat, like on the back of your bike, or in one of those little trailer things you can pull on a bike, do they need helmets too?
I would say yes. I don't know from a legal perspective. I don't know, and again, I would say that every city and county is going to be different. But if we're talking best practices, then of course, anytime they're getting in a toddler seat behind you on the bike or in one of those tow behinds, it's best to have a helmet on.
See, I told you, Keith.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Hampton Roads is also surrounded by water. We have the ocean, we have the bay, we have rivers, pools everywhere. Yep. Can you talk a little bit about water safety? Sure,
yeah. First and foremost, as parents, you want to make sure you're keeping a close eye on your kids. Every time they're in the water, make sure that you're keeping a close eye. If you got a child that maybe is not the strongest swimmer or maybe doesn't know how to swim at all, you may want to consider getting that child some swimming lessons. Local rec centers offer those for a very reasonable price, so it's not something that's going to break the bank. So if you do have a weaker swimmer or somebody who doesn't know how to swim, it's best to get them enrolled in some lessons.
Definitely.
Gotcha. Now we talked a little bit about, being safe, like in a vehicle and outside, but do you have some safety tips for like inside the car itself?
Sure. You want to stress with kids that it's never a good idea to play in and around a car or especially in the trunk. These are two things that can lead to heat stroke.
Wow.
That's a big thing this time of year. So you want to make sure that your kids are not playing in and around the trunk. You want to stress too that they know how to unlock a car door or use the emergency latch in the trunk if they can get out.
All right, now very quickly, because we don't have a whole lot of time left, what should a parent do if their child is injured because someone else was being careless?
Yeah, first thing you want to do is make sure that you are taking the child to get medical attention immediately. That's first and foremost. If you have any questions beyond that, obviously listen to the doctors, but if you have any concerns about an injury to your child and you want help, it's a good practice to call us. It costs nothing to give us a call at Huffman Huffman. We'd be glad to help.
Brothers-in-law.
Yes.
Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Of course, yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Yep.